recording button. We're now recording.
Okay.
So, Lorenzo, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me about this. As I was leaving the party on Saturday, I was told by Christy, that because my son actually started a YouTube channel. He's 10, and
Yeah, I had a lovely chat with him.
did you?
Yeah, it was really cute. He makes his own YouTube content.
I mean, he just started. He has 39 subscribers. He's excited. Um, so, I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. But then I thought, then I heard that you're kind of actually generating income from this and maybe even doing this full time. And I thought, this would be a great subject for my blog. I mean, my blog is really focused around entrepreneurism, particularly online entrepreneurism and success, really. It sounded like just a great alignment of what I'm interested in kind of exploring. And so I hope this will take, maybe about a half hour or so, just ask you a bunch of questions, how you got started, and maybe some of the challenges you had to overcome, and parts of it that you really enjoy, and any advice for, people that might be interested in something similar. So does that seem like more than you expected?
Yeah, the content I expected here. Hold on, let me just pull my camera. So just start from the beginning, how I started the channel. And
Well, why don't we just start with a little bit about you, just a little bit of your background, and then and then we'll get into how you got started on your YouTube channel.
Okay. Sure. So my specialty in content creation has always been centered around animation, because I've always had a passion for animation ever since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge fan of stop motion animation when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was like 5 or 6, some relatives, they had some friends that made their own little stop motion animated films from home. And they taught me the process of how it works, how you can have like an action figure on your tabletop,
Mm-hmm.
and after small movements and taking pictures over and over, the flip book style of animation, how anybody can do it and how simple it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who's always enjoyed working with clay, as you may know from some of my videos, I thought that it was it was an absolute dream come true. I loved creating with clay, and I loved action figures. So, you put the two together with my enjoyment for animation, and I was determined to make my own animated films.
Mm-hmm.
The first stop motion animated film that I ever saw was the Nightmare Before Christmas, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
That noise, by the way, was just I was going to your YouTube channel is all.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. You can look all you want.
Yeah.
And when I saw The Nightmare Before Christmas, as soon as it ended, I went right back to the beginning and watched it again and again. I watched it 3 times in a row.
So what? Why? It was because it was such a high quality animation story.
Yeah, because I had seen I'd seen some simple animations that people have done from home, with like some clay and just on their tabletop, and I thought that was amazing enough. But I also had a huge affection for puppets when I was a kid, and just the concept of taking a sculpted, carefully made work of art and then setting it to motion, like just bringing it to life without needing to show your hands on camera. That was just like the most amazing thing that I could imagine. Like, there's a part where Jack Skellington is singing and he takes off his head and he keeps singing, and that just blew my mind when I was a kid. So I thought, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So ever since then, I've pursued animation in any way that I could.
Wow.
I used my mom's computer. I got a animation program, and I would record my own voiceovers because I uh, needed to have something to work with. It's always good to have audio to work with.
Mm.
So that was kind of how my career as an animator was kickstarted. And the I do many voiceovers as well because I got so used to using my voice for my own
Right.
personal projects that it just kind of became a byproduct of my animation itself. It was like, you got animation, you got voice acting coming together.
Right.
So yeah, that was I started by just doing it out of pure enjoyment. I didn't really show any of my stuff to people other than family members, of course. Um, uh, until I eventually got the inspiration to start a YouTube channel.
Hmm. And
Because
just so everyone knows, what is the name of that channel?
so I have two channels. My first channel and most successful channel is called Lego Spongebob. I'll I'm gonna send you the link to it in the chat. You'll receive it in just a few moments. Uh, but yeah, it was a big hit, and it's been my job for the past oh man, 6 years, 7 years,
Holy
something like
moly! Yeah. So yeah. So you've got 114,000 subscribers. That's unbelievable. That's just really
that.
what a hit. I mean, that's just really impressive. You know, that's really. So was it? Did it surprise you? Okay. So I don't want to interrupt here.
No, no, ask away.
So, well, you got started with animation, but you didn't tell me about how you got connected to YouTube. Just tell me that process. At what point did you say, this might, I could do something on YouTube?
So the way I got started with that was when I was young, YouTube was still very new. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it was a very different time for YouTube because the creators were more small. It was less corporate, and animation was very popular on YouTube. Like I remember browsing through YouTube and finding videos with millions of views, and a lot of my favorites they were animated videos. Um, it and I thought, wow, what if I could do this too? What if I could get my own skin in the game? And
Mm-hmm.
another reason that I started YouTube was I was uh I was one of my favorite TV shows as a kid was SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, great show.
I had several VHS tapes at home I would watch over and over again. It was such a comforting show. It was very relaxed. The characters were great, and it was so wholesome. And
On multiple levels. I mean, as an adult, you can watch it and kind of get
oh
some
yeah,
stuff out of it.
SpongeBob has been it's a show that has been a huge inspiration to our whole generation, like kids and adults alike. It's such a quotable show. And when I was also a fan of the Lego line
Yeah.
of Lego SpongeBob sets because SpongeBob partnered up with Lego for a few years and they made some sets which I
Yep.
thought were awesome. And I was a kid, and what kid doesn't love Legos?
Right.
Um, so among the animations on YouTube, there was also uh, there was a small community of Lego SpongeBob animators on YouTube. There were some channels that were dedicated to making animations with the Lego SpongeBob sets. And I thought that that was awesome because I own those sets. But one thing that always disappointed me was there were no channels that were remaking original SpongeBob episodes with the Legos. They were kind of making their own original stories, and that's okay. But I had such an affinity for the original show's stories, because some of those are just so classic. Many of them are classics. So I had the idea, what if I started to create my own Lego SpongeBob videos, and I would recreate the plots, the stories, just the original episodes, but with my own voice acting and my own animation. Uh, so at first, I made, I'd say, about five five or six episodes that didn't go on YouTube. Um, I just made them for my own personal enjoyment. They weren't originally meant to go on YouTube, uh, because I wasn't sure how it would work. So I made about five or six Lego SpongeBob episodes, and then I thought, okay, now that I have a small set of episodes, what if I try uploading them to YouTube and see how they would do? And I start like a little show, a little weekly Lego SpongeBob video thing where
Yeah.
I an episode go up once a week on Wednesday. So if you go to my old videos
Mm-hmm.
and
This is
uh
how many years ago? Or how long when you start?
uh how long ago? I mean, if you go to the
6 years ago.
videos,
Oh my God.
yep. Yep, oldest 6 years. It's been
Yeah,
that
there it is.
long.
It's Lego SpongeBob Plankton Original.
Yes, because I remade the episode later because it's a good episode.
All right.
So yeah, the as you see on the episode lineup, Lego SpongeBob Plankton, Boating School, Roller Cowards, Hall Monitor, Sleepy Time, and SB129. Okay, that's yeah, that is 6 episodes. Those I made just for fun. But when I got the idea to upload a new episode onto a channel once a week, I I started with Culture Shock and then went to Home Sweet Pineapple and Bubble Stand. Uh, if you check the dates on these videos, they'll be roughly, if
Yeah,
not
6 years
approximately
ago.
a week from each other.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, at first I just started. I mean, I didn't have much subscribers to work with. I probably had like a few hundred, but I'd say that my channel really took off with the episode Lego SpongeBob SB129 original, because as you can see, that was my first video to.
4.9 million views.
Yep.
Holy moly! What happened in
Yeah.
that episode?
My gosh. I really I don't know. It's so I don't understand what goes viral on YouTube. I know that there are like there are certain things that you can do to make to supplement a video going viral on YouTube, but I'll never understand. It just seems kind of random to me. But it was a fun episode to make. I'll give it that.
But you guys, other ones. I'm looking here. Lego SpongeBob Rock Bottom got 3.9 million views. Lego SpongeBob Karate Chopper's got 1.1. I mean, you've got a lot with some serious viewership. So it's not. I don't see randomness here. I see, you know, here you got Lego SpongeBob Something Smells, 3.6 million views. So I don't know. I mean, it just seems like you've got some good episodes that really connect somehow. It's not a random. There's some consistent top performers here.
Mm, yeah. Uh, I I don't know what it like. I think because it could have been the time that YouTube was when I posted these videos, animations were probably trending more, or SpongeBob may have been trending more. Um, I don't know, but frankly, I don't really question it. I'm happy that I had some heavy hitters to get some attention to the channel, because a channel can't blow up unless it has this kind of these kind of heavy hitters in terms of viewership. Um, so yeah, once uh, SB129 original. That was my first viral video, and once that started to get views, my that was when my subscriber count started skyrocketing every day, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and then next thing you know, thousands. Uh, and the
So now
more
you're getting new subscribers every day in the thousands?
at one point I was, not these days,
Why?
but
What's changed?
YouTube is YouTube is always changing, and
Hmm.
it's so huge. There's so much competition. Uh, I the algorithms are different because I remember at one point YouTube began to value frequent uploads and longer videos um, over shorter videos and less frequent uploads because if you're a channel that can upload a 20-minute long video every day, you're going to have a lot of people watching over time, tuning in every day and watching 20 minutes of YouTube. It's there's all kinds of working parts to the game of YouTube.
Hmm.
So it's not quite viable for animators. It's always been very tough.
Hmm.
But the the community kept me going, and I I don't know, just the thrill of entertaining people as well, because I've always loved to entertain people.
Mm.
It's always been a passion of mine.
So, at what point did you have you monetized this? I have a feeling you have.
Yes, these videos are all monetized, except for the ones that might have like copyrighted music and stuff. Of course, it's YouTube. Um,
So, at what point did
I
you
didn't.
decide to monetize? At what point did that occur to you?
Well, at first, I didn't even know that monetization was a thing because I was just making these videos and putting up on YouTube for fun. It wasn't a job initially. But then one day, one of my relatives from Oregon, who is involved in the music industry,
Hmm.
he he said, "Hey, did you know that you can you can earn money from your YouTube videos?" And I thought, "Oh, well, that's kind of interesting." So I set up a Google AdSense account with my mother because I was too
Right, right. Too young.
young to to have my own income. Uh, so I monetized my videos. I'd say a about a year and a half after I started uploading Lego Spongebob videos. So at this point, I had a decent fan base
Hmm.
and plenty of views. So it so like I could think, oh, maybe I missed out on earning some money when the channel was really blowing up. But then at the same time, I think uh, it was nice to let this channel blossom first
Yeah.
before
Great
monetizing it.
word. Great word. Um, what has been your experience in that monetization process? Just high level, I guess, or whatever you'd like to share.
The there have been ups and downs because this well, it's YouTube. It's you make the content and some videos do better than others. It's
Hmm.
not as consistent as I'd like it to be because I'd like to earn money in a way where I know how much I'm going to make
Right.
every month.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Plus, it looks better, to banks and on like your statement and stuff. It's good to have consistency in how much you make. But um, I do I do appreciate how the hard work was paying off because YouTube is a very lucrative platform that demands a lot of respect as well. Um,
What do you mean it demands a lot of respect? What does that mean?
there are guidelines, of course. You don't take other people's content. You keep things safe for the viewers and for the advertisers. You know, there are guidelines in the AdSense contract. Like you can't beg your fans to click on ads and that kind of shady stuff. It's because I do admire the creative integrity, because that's what makes YouTube so great. Um, so I mean, I don't know if that answers your question very well, but that's
So let me just be clear. Are you making a living at this? I mean, is this something that you're doing full time? I mean, just want to clarify that for those that will be reading this blog. Is this something that is a full time career for you?
it it has been,
Mm-hmm.
because at one point I really did want to be a YouTuber for a living. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that being a YouTuber was like the best job I could ever want,
Yeah.
because I've always loved making videos, and I love entertaining, and I
Mm-hmm.
think getting paid for it is great.
Yep.
But in recent years, I've realized that I don't want to be a YouTuber for a living, because I wouldn't be happy. Um, and
Love it.
the reason I say that is because as much as being a YouTuber can make you feel self-employed,
Yep.
uh, you have your flexible hours.
Yep.
You can put up what you please.
Right.
It The reason I wouldn't be happy is because at the end of the day, if you let all the dust settle,
Yeah.
you're not working for yourself. You're working for Google. You know, you're a number on a spreadsheet. There are billions of channels out there,
Huh.
and many of the very big YouTubers with millions and millions of subscribers are going through hard times, because YouTube is always changing. And if YouTube chooses, all they have to do is snap their fingers and no more money for you. It's just, it's uh, you use their website, you have to play by their rules.
Interesting. You see, I would think for a lot of people, and you may not know this because, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just an incredible amount of success for an 18-year-old, right? I'm somebody that's in their 50s, spent decades, working career that you work 9 to 5 or whatever it is, actually probably 8 to 5:30. But, um,
I'll take 5.
all right. So, the idea that you could make a living doing something at home at your own pace, not being beholden to a boss screaming over, looking over your shoulder, not having to work with colleagues that just drive you crazy, not having to commute long hours and with an expense, not having to work, some people don't work 9 to 5, they work like 7 to 7, not having to work on weekends if you have to, like just the flexibility, the freedom, and also doing stuff that you love, which is animation. I mean, for a lot of people, that would just be a dream life. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I guess for you though, there is risk and there is lack of, I guess, control over the monetization. Is that what I'm hearing? So that can be really nerve wracking. Am I hearing that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. You're on the ball with that.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually the stuff of real entrepreneurism, right? So
Mm.
this is getting to the heart of this blog that um, working for an employer is steady, but it
Yeah.
can also be very unfulfilling. You're really, ironically, based on what you just said, same thing that happens when you're an employee of an organization. Your ability, there's a quote that says that if you don't have big goals and dreams for yourself, you'll end up working for somebody who does, right? So being an employee is basically building the dreams of someone else.
Yeah,
And what's it?
you're
Go ahead.
selling your time to that person.
And yeah, this is a big concept in the entrepreneur community, which is you're selling time for money. And you're not doing that right now. So for a lot of people, you're exemplifying, what we would call this part of this entrepreneur lifestyle. But yet, being an entrepreneur is very risky. There's risk. There's you're on your own. Um, there's not some big brand, multi-million-dollar employer. You have to use your own wits and creativity to to build something. And while that it can be risky, it could also be very rewarding, very not just monetarily, but rewarding in the sense that I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, having 100,000 people subscribe to your channel, that's got to make you feel good. That's got to make you feel like
Mm.
are asking me. Let me ask you, what does that feel like?
Uh, it it definitely holds a lot of weight, as in you're happy to have a lot of people who are backing you up and are supportive of you and are just ready to say yes, whatever you put up, I'm gonna watch it. I want more of what you're giving the community.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it can sometimes be a bit exhausting because instinctively you feel like you have an obligation to these people. It's like, you
Interesting. Yeah.
know, they're subscribed to you, they have expectations of you. Uh,
Interesting.
they and you know there's that feeling that you get sometimes where if you don't keep them updated or you don't post enough content or if you don't satisfy everybody, then
Mm-hmm.
they might lose interest and stop watching. Maybe not necessarily unsubscribe, but just like stop watching. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, views are the most important thing. Because that's what because more views means more advertisers are going to get to show their ads to people and more money for you.
Mm-hmm. Right. That makes sense. Sure. So like you've got this. Then I can see what I'm hearing you say is like I have this, you know, large fan base, subscriber base, and at the same time it means I'm my feet are held to the fire to produce.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know. Have you ever thought about expanding in the sense of maybe hiring assistants?
Oh, definitely, because as an animator, it takes a lot of work just to make like a 10-minute video. And
Yeah.
nowadays, my videos are longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
By like you got like 14 minutes or 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I haven't hired any interns really is because I
Mm-hmm.
just I animate these videos from my room,
Yep.
and I just don't have I don't have the space to incorporate more people. Like if I was able to rent out a space for for like just like a little studio were dedicated to making these videos,
Yeah.
then I would totally go for it. But uh, as I hate to admit, right now I'm not making that much money from you
Oh. So
because
it should algorithms have really hit your bottom line, is what you're saying.
yeah, I'm in a bit of a rough spot with YouTube right now because here, let's see. If you go to my channel,
Yeah.
click on you go to sort by. It's on the right hand side of the screen, and go to date added newest, my latest videos.
Yep.
You'll notice that my latest videos have they are much smaller in views than the old ones. Like as you can see, we got 10,000, 18,000,
And
30,000.
what were you used to? What kind of viewership were you used
Well,
to?
if you go to my old videos now, you'll see that there are of course the ones with millions of views, but
Right.
on average, I have a good few 100,000 views at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum.
Right.
Uh, and I can't exactly figure out why this is happening because I do try to stay consistent with my
Right.
upload schedule because I do believe that uh, consistency
Yes.
it's very important because your fans know what to expect and you're less unpredictable or sporadic in your schedule. I don't know. It's I like to treat this as if it were a show. So with consistency in uploading means that people will always know. Oh, it's Wednesday.
Right.
He's uploading a video
Right.
today. I
Exactly.
know when
Yeah.
to tune in. Um, So I mean, I try to upload same time every week,
Yeah.
and I like to keep my fans updated on my social media platforms,
Yep.
and I all my episodes are made in the same format: the intro, the video. I mention my Instagram and Twitter, and then
Yep.
the outro. Subscribe, but I'm still figuring out what exactly is causing this drop in viewership. Um, and also YouTube got in trouble a few months ago for violating a Child Protection Act under federal law,
Mm.
and they sent out an email to their content creators saying that soon uh, children's content will no longer be monetizable on YouTube, uh,
Hmm.
regardless of who's watching. And and it has the community a bit worried because there are many YouTube channels that specialize in making content for children.
Well,
Because
like I mean, my son watches Dan TDM for hours on.
yeah,
So he would be demonetized. Is that what's going on?
so what I saw, what from what I've read in news articles and the email is, it is as long as your content is tailored towards kids, it doesn't matter what your analytics are because, uh, like on my YouTube channel, I can say that the my analytics show that the average v- age of my viewers are adults.
Interesting.
But yeah, I find that really interesting. I always assumed, oh, well, maybe it's children using their
Right.
parents' YouTube accounts or
Right.
Google accounts. But regardless, my content is definitely catered towards kids
Right.
because Lego, SpongeBob. Uh, so I do think that my channel might fall under the no longer monetizable
Uh,
label.
I see what your point about, YouTube changes the rule and bam, you're
And
you're impacted.
yeah, and that's what brings me back to my point. As much as I love YouTube for being a YouTuber for flexible hours,
Hmm.
potentially really good pay, or and entertaining people, it's all really good, and I feel self-employed. But at the end of the day, there is a higher power that at any moment can just say, "No more money for you." Yeah.
Well, this is, I mean, true about any business. I mean, the law
Yeah.
could change and just put you out of business, or an auditor can come in and just put you out of business. I mean, this is kind of the way life is. There is no sure thing, right? And
Mm.
and is this why you've created a different channel? Are you looking at kind of diversifying?
Well, when my second channel was created back in 2016 because
Hmm.
I originally wanted to stop making Lego SpongeBob videos because I just didn't feel like making them anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to broaden my horizons as an animator because, frankly, I had grown bored of animating Legos too, since they're very rigid. And I have always had a passion for claymation,
Right.
which
You
you're
can have more
familiar.
expressive, right? You can have more expressive characters.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to send you the link to my second channel right now.
Can I just
Chat.
click on channels? Let me see. Clay Kremlin, right?
Yeah, that is my second channel, and I was making YouTube content on here for about 2 years, but as you can see from my viewership and my subscriber count, it never took off. So, I eventually I came back to Lego SpongeBob because I wanted to get paid for making
Yeah,
animation.
of course.
Yeah, because it's animation is so demanding in terms of time and hours, as it is.
Yeah, how many hours do you put in to create, let's say, one video a week?
Oh my god. Oh boy. Let's see. So it can I'd say there's at least 10 minutes of raw animation within one Lego SpongeBob episode. Sometimes 11 minutes, but mostly 10.
Hmm.
before editing and stuff. And in order to get 2 minutes of animation, that can take like 4 hours. So, oh man, a a 10 getting 10 minutes of animation, that could take like 12 or 16 hours of just at my desk animating, and that's not even counting the time that I have to edit. So uh it's I definitely want to at least get some income out of it. I want to feel
Sure,
like I'm getting
sure,
paid.
sure. So you're saying that you put in, it sounds like you put in at least 20 to 30 hours a week putting these videos. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, that would be a fair estimate.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I spend the week working on them, and uh it takes about a week to create. um, so uh yeah, it's so I went back to Lego Spongebob to uh reunite with my old fans, because even though I stopped posting videos on the Lego SpongeBob channel for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, I saw a gap. Yeah, I saw that. Sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a gap. My fans were, I still had a decent, my subscribers were still going up, and people were still waiting for more
Have you ever
content.
thought about, just out of curiosity, have you ever thought about, um, tapping into experts in how to build or to, how do I say this? I can only imagine that there are either mentors or consultants or, let's say, educational programs that can help aspiring artists like yourself, on the business end of it, right? There may be things that you could be doing that, I mean, just for example, and I don't know if you're doing this, and I don't know if this is the right thing, but I know some YouTubers really, plug their Patreon accounts, right?
Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about, or are you working with, let's say, consultants or experts, or really top-notch marketers, let's say, that can kind of help you with on the business end of what you're doing?
I'm not working with anybody, but I have been recommended that I do that before. The reason I haven't reached out to anybody is because I'm so wrapped up making content as is, that I don't get a lot of time away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I could always take a break to focus on educating myself uh, in terms of the marketing uh,
Yeah, I
and of
mean,
growing a channel and promoting and stuff.
yeah, I mean, just, and I'm thinking out loud here, because I do some online marketing, and I mean, you could market your channel. You could, one way. I mean, what you've done is all organic.
Mm,
You have grown your channel just organically, which is unbelievable. Um, Imagine what you could do if you actually had some paid portion of that.
yeah,
I mean, maybe that might seem difficult as you're struggling with the income portion of it, but that's kind of the entrepreneur's challenge to spend money to make money, kind of thing. And so
yeah,
that could, and it's all, most entrepreneurs have to deal with that. Like, oh my God, how do I don't have any money, right? How do I? I need to spend something. Yeah, I'm not getting it in. So there's this element of faith. So
yeah.
um, I find that I find that challenge really interesting, because it really does have to do with faith in oneself. Um, but yeah, do you have any final words? Any final things you'd like to share with me or people that kind of are reading my blog?
All I can say is I've had so much fun creating for YouTube, but if I do come across roadblocks like this, or the whole YouTube is planning to demonetize kids content in the future.
Mhm.
When stuff like that happens, it's just kind of like dumbfounding and bewildering. Sometimes I think, I'm still young, and
Yeah, you're only 18. Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm still young, and if if fate, or if it's just destiny, if I continue to hit roadblocks like this over and over, maybe it's just a sign that I'm meant to do something even better. Maybe I'm meant to try something else, because I like to think about it like that.
Yeah,
If this
absolutely.
doesn't work, it's just a sign that life is saying, okay, why don't you try this instead? Maybe you'll find more success. Maybe it won't work at all, and I could try something else.
Because to your point, you said you don't necessarily want to do SpongeBob videos your entire life, right? I mean, so
No, I don't. It's
right. So it's just figuring that out, and that's part of the entrepreneur's kind of dilemma, or anyone's dilemma, really.
yeah.
Uh, you know,
I
life is
just
not stagnant. It's
yeah.
you have to be creative with it.
Because I will do whatever I have to retain my independence.
Yep.
So yeah, but the journey is it's a good one. The ups and downs, it is a good one.
Well, great. That's a great note to end it on. Thank you so much, Lorenzo, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the next Halloween party.
Yeah, right. I'll see you next year.
See you next year. All right. You have a good one. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
the lovely interview.
Yep, you bet. And I'll send you a link to the final article when I'm done. Okay?
Thank you.
You bet. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.